All right. Hello, guys. Good evening. Give me a break. Excuse me. I would love to pause for a while. All right. Um, this right here, I'm trying to explain the breakdown analysis on a synthetic indices pair. Known as vix100, and vix100 is one of the popular pairs on synthetic indices and one of the most volatile pair after vix 50s 51s. I posted previously on my page um, on the trade right here on vix100, and you can see my analysis right here when I was looking for the entry right there, and we now see it playing out right here to this area of supply there was there. So price is consolidating another area of supply so that it could accumulate orders and then violate that area. Now I'm looking for a long-term targets where we're having liquidity pool, and as you guys know, I'm more of a swing trader. So now we're gonna break down the analysis and we go straight into it. So back to my broker derive right here on MetaTrader 5. You can see that I am on the lower time frame, right? I am on the 4-hour time frame, and I'm very certain and sure that you can now understand this chart right here. So even if you go down to your 30 minutes, I know you're possibly trying to look for entries and all stuff like that, and it happens to be you will not be able to find them because you are kind of like confused and how the chart look like. But I'm going to be breaking I will be breaking down the analysis and for you to study also, and so that while you're doing your own analysis, you can also use the strategy, the idea, the breakdown, and look out on how I do it to analyze your market. So this right here went for the mentorship, and they say I should make a recording instead of a session with them. I make a recording and post it. So now the analysis now. So you can look right here on the 13 minutes. You won't actually see something clear. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, you actually see something clear. Now the reason why I was taking this trade for a back setup was from a higher time frame bias. So like I always said, higher time frame gives you a directional bias of where to know your trade entry and all stuff like that. So right here on my monthly time frame, the first thing I noticed was that truly the market went bullish from this point, and we now went bearish. You can see all of this imbalance right here, and you can actually see that the price is close to zero price level. So to me, I'm taking that the price will not be able to go lower there. You know, it means that if it has to go lower there, it means that this asset, this pair, is worthless. So then I was watching the price, and I was on the monthly time frame, and what I noticed was that VIX 100 tapped into this order block right here. Now that was what I was interested in, and you know, we always get to find on confirmation entry. You can't just place a buy limit right here and put a stop right here. That will be very huge, and it will take out your account if it happens to be it is not valid. Now, seeing that the market traded into this other block right here, and looking at this structure right here, we have this lower low, we have lower high. Now price traded into the other block. This right here, I'm not considering that as a structural break because this is just a small break. So now seeing that and understanding all of this stuff, I keep on going to my time frames, like going down to the lowest time frame and looking for stuff like that. So this is why I ended up right now on the weekly time frame, and you can see that there's nothing clear right here. You can actually see an area of other block and all stuff like that. But you can notice that we have this break of this other block right here, because that is actually an inducement, and it happens to be a break structure. So you won't be looking at that for a buy entry. So I was focusing right here, trying to see a confirmation entry. And I know that what happened right here, I'm not considering this or seeing this right here as a break structure due to the way the price traded right there, and it created like a consolidation right there. So we are having an area of support and resistance, a significant support and resistance. Now I went down to my daily time frame. What am I looking on at my daily time frame? Now this is very important for you to know, and this is what I saw and the reason of me taking the trade. So we saw this area of demand right here. You would say it breaks structure, which it didn't. It actually grabbed liquidity, so you buying from that place is void, not valid. So price traded higher, so we have a lower high right here, traded lower to give us a lower low. We traded higher to trade into this other block. Now that right here, you traded the price, right? So we continue the bearish structure, and most of you would be looking right here because this is an order block, a bullish order block. But this bullish order block won't be valid for the reasons that it didn't break structure right here. So price tapped at this area of demand or supply, bearish order block, and we see trade lower right here. Now this is my main focus of interest. I was focusing right here. So I will have to relax and tell you the reasons why I was looking for buy setup. So chill. Now there are ways in which I confirmed my break of structure. There's some structural break that I will see and I will say this break is not something I will say is valid, and I will likely not be looking for a sell entry in the case of a bearish market. Now what is the reason of that, and what are the stuff that I will see and I will say it is not a structural break? Now this stuff is right here, looking at this price right here and seeing how the market traded on that low. That right here is not a strong structural break. What actually happened right here is that price was trading lower impulsively, now got to this point right here and created an area of support, right? This right here I will not say is a strong break of structure. This right here I would say is price is grabbing liquidity, purging elbow set stops resting below this low, right? So we now see trade higher, give us a high right here. Now the consolidation happened, it continues. So seeing something like this, seeing this break, this is a very weak, it's very weak to confirm that you have a break of structure. To me, this right here has turned into something we call the significant support and resistance. Price is ranging at that area of sell stops. So what is it trying to do? The price is grabbing liquidity and hunting every stops below this low. This right here, I am considering this as a purging of liquidity and not a strong structural break, but price doing what? Purging that low, grabbing liquidity. You actually see the wicks trading below that candle. And this right here has resulted to what we are seeing as an area of support and resistance. Also, we know there has a significant support and resistance. So we're having support, resistance. That right here at this low is seen as a significant support and resistance. So that is the reason why on the analysis like this, to chill down, to calm down, so understand all of this stuff, is that the more you spend time on your chart, the more you can actually know what you could see and say that is a real structural break. Like you'll be convinced that you have a structural break, and instead of saying something like this and say you're having a structural break, this has turned into an area of support and resistance, price purging that liquidity, taking sell stop. Alright, but then keep on going down to lower time frame. You're trying to see if it breaks structure, right, to the other side of the market. So running down to the 12-hour time frame right here, we can see how clean it is. Now remember that from the daily time frame we didn't see an order block to sell at. So if you go back to your daily time frame, you will see right here you have imbalances. There is no area of supply, there's no bearish order block you could say you're trying to sell from that area. No, I can't find it. I cannot find it, because what I can actually see right here is that there is no imbalance because price has already balanced itself using these wicks. So there is no area I would say, alright, I'm validating that this is an area of supply, and I have a confluence, which is an area where I have imbalance. So price should do what? Balance the gap and then trade into the area of bearish order block and grab liquidity. Grab liquidity, trade into the imbalance, balance the imbalance, and mitigate the order block. So that right here is not seen on the daily time frame. There is also no area of supply on the daily time frame that I could see and be convinced about that. Even though I go down to the 12-hour time frame, you can actually see price has balanced itself. There is no area of which we are having imbalances and an area to say we're having a sell entry. This is the breakdown analysis. You need to chill. Don't just enter your chart and start marking out lines, start marking out highs and lows, start marking out every last body candle or last sell candle, last buy candle has an order block. you have to take some things that you have to follow some rules in which you'll be convinced, easily convinced that this is the area in which you'll have your entry that you want to enter at this particular price level. Right here, price impulsive retreat lower, reverse backwards, cleared imbalance, so it has downwards settled this sell side. Now remember, the candlestick trading lower, having an imbalance, we are referring there as a sell side imbalance, right? So that means there is only sales occurring at that candle, and there is no buying right there. And using the concept of, like, in economics, understanding supply and demand, it says supply, demand has to be equal to supply. Supply has to be equal to demand. We have to possibly try our possible best to make sure that it has to be at equilibrium. But you know, economy is very hard and stuff like that. So using that concept, you should easily understand the area of what it means to say you're having sell side imbalance and buy side imbalance. They are just not ordinary names. They are terms in which you should understand. If there is a sell side imbalance, price traded backwards, it has balanced the price. So that means demand is equals to supply. The buying is for the reasons to settle the sales. Alright, so we are having a cleared imbalance. Alright, look back right here. You can actually see that we have the sell side imbalance right here, price trade backwards 50%, and we still have all the imbalances right here. Price trade backwards, and right here it grabbed liquidity just a little bit, and then we trade lower. We have imbalance right here, right? Price trade into the imbalance, and while trying to balance the gap right there, the buy side imbalance, it is also balancing the sell side. So both sides is being balanced. You should be taking note of that. And I'm just telling you this because I just saw this and it came into my mind, getting into my mind. I should also share it with you. I'm giving you financial education that no one would be able to give you. These are things you need to understand. You need to think. You're being educated. You're in an academy. You're learning something. You have to learn finance. You have to learn economics. You have to learn commerce. You have to learn everything about business and the finances. Right here, the candlestick balancing sell side while trying also to balance the buy side. Took structure, trade, weak, balancing gaps. Right here, reject from the taper out walls to balance this gap right here and also balance the sell side. Right? So this retrace backwards, closed it completely, trade downwards. This one candle trade backwards, clear the selling balance and trade lower, mitigating that monthly time frame on the block. Now this is the 12-hour time frame. You can actually see I'm trying to tell you that this right here is not something you could confirm as a breakthrough structure. Right here, price grab liquidity, creating an area significant support and resistance. You can actually see that right here. Now on the 12-hour time frame, if you're to mark your structures again, you would know that I would say this right here is a lower high and this right here will be a lower low. And since price has already balanced gap right here, there's possibly no area of supply right here anymore. But then we will be looking at this area of supply because I know most traders will be wanting to sell from that area. And looking at this, they will say there's an inducement after price balance the sell side imbalance and trade lower. So running down to the 8-hour time frame, right here you can actually see on the 8-hour time frame how the candlestick has been balancing itself, and also how this one trade back to balance gap right here. This week and this week price has balanced itself, and also right here you have this right here. Right now, interesting part is that when price was creating significant support resistance, we trade lower. This candle, you can actually see this down close candle before the impulsive move higher. Now with the idea of what I just explained a few minutes ago, you can see we have this sell side imbalance right here, the buy side imbalance right here. You can actually see how the price retraces backwards to mitigate 50% of the fair value gap before it traded higher. Now understanding this, I was still going down to lower time frame to understand my barriers. And then I start marking out, all right, we have 50% of a fair value gap right here balanced. So after that, price traded higher, and we violate that area of supply you saw, that you think you saw on your higher time frame. And before that, we do have a break of structure right here. A change of character before the break of structure. So a two structural break will confirm a change of trend, right? And now we're having this significant support resistance. Now, one PDF everybody has read. It's very, very popular. I don't know, but I guess some of you have read the file. It says that an order block is valid when it is at an area of significant support and resistance. Also, you can use that as a confluence in your KML also, your course module. So, my entry, the first bias I had was right here at the 4-hour time frame. And price is consolidating, so we suffered a lot right here before price actually followed our bias. So I had to look for a confirmation entry, right? So now we go down to the 4-hour time frame where we have something very, very clean for us right there. Now my analysis gets clear right here. So we have high trade back across to this order block right here, which is at the area of significant support and resistance, right? So you see why I say that this right here is on the break structure. Price was purging liquidity. Alright, so now my interest was right here because I had a change of character and the break structure right there. So most traders, I know you see this kind of candlestick and say that's your bearish order block. So price rejects from there. And now I was looking for the order block responsible for that, which is resting right here, right? So there was no confirmation entry, so I suffered a lot. I had to leave the market. I had my entry first right here at the 4-hour time frame, but then again to refine downwards to the 3-hour, and so I have to do my analysis again to analyze again and saw the 3-hour order block. So if you go back to my Facebook, you actually see I had the first entry right there at the 4-hour time frame. Sorry, the 2-hour time frame, which is also the 4-hour order block, and you actually see this. I left and had my second entry right there, a confirmation entry, which I'm going to show you right now. So you can see how clean it is. You can see how clean it is. All right, so we have our 3-hour order block right here. Still, if you go down to your 2-hour time frame, you can actually see what I'm trying to say. You mark this as your order block. It failed, right? Price trade backwards, trade into this bullish order block right here. This right here actually did a favor gap, so you're safe right here. So price traded higher, gave us violates this order block and giving us a change of character before our major high was broken. That is giving us a break of structure. Now on the other hand, most traders seeing this as the area of supply, you actually see that it's actually getting violated right now. And I know that because from the 12-hour time frame, there is nothing there. Price is already balanced. Alright? So back to my 3-hour, 2-hour time frame, right there, you can actually see the 2-hour demand zone. The last candle responsible for the impulsive move, right? So we have price trade downwards and mitigate that area, still trade lower. So my confirmation was here, also at the 3-hour time frame, and the reasons is because it gave us a break of structure right here. That right here is a confirmation entry. Down to the 1-hour time frame, this right here is the 1-hour demand, price range there, range, and finally we get to see that structural break, and it gave us a change of character first before it breaks a structure, right? And now you can actually see that we have right here our 1-hour order block. But my entry, refined entry and stuff like that was seen on the 3-hour time frame, and there is it right here. The 3-hour order block was where I had the first entry and left the market currently. Took profit right there at this high, but we love to still swing the trades to our long-term high on the higher time frame, the weekly time frame. So seeing this right here, this is a sweet setup. You have a general character and you break up market structure. So that is giving you a confirmation entry, right? So I had to go to my lower time frame when price tapped here. I was looking for setups also to buy, and right here nothing is clear. So the entry was done on the 3 minutes time frame, but let's look at the 4-hour time frame. So right here you can actually see what I'll call right here we had a stop hunt plus a break of microstructure right here. So this is what I had my entry, and that was at the 3 minutes time frame. So we're going down to the 3 minutes time frame, and we'll look at that right now. All right. So now the same analysis. After a stop hunt, we see price trade higher. So most traders were looking at this as an area supply, and it got violated. Another trader looking at this as an area supply, it got violated, and that is the major high I was looking at for a structural break for confirmation entry. So we had that structural break and the failed supply, and also trading higher to giving us liquidity pool right here. So we're having a basket liquidity pool, so that is now seen as a draw to liquidity. So my entry again was right here on the 3 minutes time frame. So if I go to my charts, try to look for it. All right, so this is it right here. So you actually see my entry right here, the 3 minutes time frame right here. You can actually see right here 3 minutes. I also had my entry, so you can see what it's playing right here: a failed OB, a change of character, a break of structure, and all that failed order block. So that was it right here. Price came right here, tap, traded backwards again. Now most of the times you have to refine your entry, because you can actually see that where it actually traded into was a 2 minutes time frame order block, and possibly if you refine it, you actually see it is a 1 minute time frame order block. So right here, this 1 minute time frame order block, and the best setup of all, you have a stop hunt plus a change of character and a break of market structure right here, and then the 1 minute order block right here, and seeing this as an adjustment. So that was why this entry right here was not valid till price came backwards to mitigate the 1 minute order block, and finally we see it run away, tap, trade higher, and as it traded higher, it gave us another structural break right here. And most traders will see this as an area supply, with the idea that they had a change of character right here and the break of structure. You are focusing your lower time frame, not the higher time frame. So the same thing I explained previously. You can see this right here. It's not validated. It's a break of structure. This is a liquidity grab, price purge in that area. So back to the 3 minutes time frame, you actually see that after that, price came back to the 3 minutes order block, tested it twice, and finally ride higher again. And when you ride higher again, it gave us a break of structure, right? So after that, I think that was at the 5 minutes time frame. You actually see this area, this whole big candle is actually an order block, but you can actually go to the lower time frames, and you get to refine that. That is the 3 minutes time frame, and that was what I had right here, but it happens to be it just didn't go for that. So you would think it is here, but actually I would love to take the whole of this down close candle, and also this right here is a breaker block right here. So price retrace backwards, and it does it things 5 minutes time frame. So right here, this right here, this white candle, you will know how big is this. It is actually a breaker block right there. So you have this other block, then impulsive rally downwards, and then finally trade higher. This right here is a breaker block because of the liquidity gravity right here before it's finally traded higher. So that's the breaker block. You can see the candlestick went for the opening price right there, and we trade higher, violating another other block right here. And what's the reason of that? The reason of that violation is also this other block. Price retraces backwards to it and trade higher. You actually see that it violates this one also. So after that, we finally get to see a break of structure again. Price retraces backwards to February gap, I think. Traded higher again. We have a break of structure. Price traded backwards again to an area of demand. Now imagine I was taking execution from here. I took a buy again, took a buy, another buy setup, another buy setup, and also another buy setup again at this other block. And you know, more orders, more cash coming in, more profits coming in. And right here we again have a brick structure, and we're looking at this other block again. So but from there and it rallies again. So you are not stacking your trades little by little as price is retracing backwards to area of demands. And now we tap right here, tap into other block after a brick structure, and we now see rallied, though it stops right here, trade backs into imbalance after taking liquidity, and range and violate, trying to violate that area. And the reasons of that is because we have liquidity pool right here. That right there is a draw to liquidity. Now most traders see stocks like this and they say break structure and they mark other block right here, price will kill. Alright, don't do that. Leave this lower time frame. You get confused before you go down to your lower time frame. Make sure you have a bias from higher time frame before you go down to your lower time frame and start looking for all these stuffs. But this right here is not a break structure. Don't call this a break structure. This right here is just a single rally high and rally low. Alright, so I don't know why you guys, some of us, we look at that as a break structure. Maybe if you go to the 15 minutes time frame, you can actually see how clean it is. Alright, stop trying to say you want a scalp or yeah, scalp, and you're seeing this as a break structure. I was even seeing schematics, people posting schematics saying something like this is a change of character. That is not a change of character. Okay? You actually see all of these. You can actually see how clean. You see how I was mapping that out. You can actually see the 15 minutes time frame. This is lovely. 30 minutes time frame. Very, very clean setup. How I wish I had my entry high. I wish I didn't leave this market. I would have continued holding this trade and swing the hell out of this trade and leave the chart and do my stuffs. Go to school, teach STEM education, read books, watch anime, which is Naruto, do some music stuffs, and feel free. I'll come back once in a while to check the chart to see if it's following my bias and move my trades to break even. And I won't focus on any other pair again because I have this running. So one thing again is trying to deal with patience, because that was one of the hard things that all of us traders are trying to do it. And it's like our psychology or emotions and stuff like that. You know, we miss a trade stuff. Because I'm actually pained that I didn't hold this trade as I wanted to, because I wanted to swing this trade perfectly. From this point right here, with the lower lot size, would have been having like $100 plus right here. This is beautiful, very, very beautiful. And I think with time we get to master all of this stuff. We actually know how to analyze the chart, find better entries, and to do with that we have to deal with our psychology, you know. So my POI liquidity pool right here has a draw to liquidity, because when you're doing analysis, your take profit should be at a draw to liquidity. And there's all this stuff right here. We have buy side liquidity pool, and if you extend it also, buy side liquidity pool. For time frame, very clean setup. Long buy on vix100 for me, and this right here is the evidence and proof that forex killed pay you a lot. Forex has made a lot of people millionaires. You know, I don't work, this is what I do, and I hope to make more fortune out of it. Do you know what it means to make money without stressing yourself, like without working in a factory or industry and stuff like that? You just have to look at the chart, do some analysis, breakdown analysis, and then look for entries, predict the price perfectly. Try to predict the price perfectly and see how price follows the bias. That is fun. Anyways, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm only here to teach because I was born a teacher, I was born a mentor, I was born to teach. So I hope you guys learn a lot from this and enjoy yourself and be safe. I love you guys. Bye. And also, I thank you for taking out your time to do your voting. I kind of like feel like I should get involved anymore because I know that there are top people over here that have companies, and they also work for brokers. I saw one who was for Xnest, and you can actually see the person they had the highest right here. Like, this is wow. Like, they have enough community. I was even thinking this was the first person. It happens TV is lower the first. And let's go again. What is it? Innovation. I can't find it here again. Oh, sorry. So I think they must have take it out or something like that. But I can see this one right here, and you can actually see that. You can see right here who got the first position, and I can actually see the one where I was actually the second before. Yeah, this is right here. So I thought this guy was the first person. He happens to be his number the first, and you can actually see right here. So these are top people that has company. You can actually see right there and stuff like that. Just email Twitter, and I don't have much community. So right there, this is where I am, and I appreciate everything. I love you guys. Thanks for your votes, and I hope we keep pushing. Maybe next time again we have to look for stuff like that and apply for them, and I hope to see more support. I appreciate you guys, and if this is your first time to watch the videos, please subscribe, like, share with your friends. And yeah, my mentorship access is available. Everything and stuff is uploaded on Telegram. So I make content. I don't. Every of my mentorship is done videos and on sessions. So I make content, upload those videos on Telegram. Once the fee is being paid, you have access to Telegram. You're a member, so you're part of the community. It's a lifetime. As long as you're a member, you always have access to watch those videos. And I keep on uploading videos again and again and again. But most times I have to take a break before I have to upload, because you also have to take your time to watch those content. So you can contact me on Facebook page, on my Facebook page, and stuff like that. So see you guys later on. Take care and be safe.